Israel has approved a plan to double its population in the occupied Golan Heights, citing a new front along its border with Syria after the fall of the Assad regime. Israeli troops have been operating in a buffer zone, separating the Golan Heights from Syria. Military officials say they're working to thwart potential threats and to prevent a takeover by terrorist elements near the Syrian border. The Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says his country does not want conflict with Syria.
We have no interest in confronting Syria. We will determine Israel's policy towards Syria according to the emerging reality on the ground. I remind you that for decades, Syria was an active enemy state to Israel. It attacked us again and again. It allowed others to attack us from its territory. It allowed Iran to arm Hezbollah through its territory.
Israel seized the Golan Heights during the 1967 Six-Day War. It annexed the strategic plateau in 1981. It's considered to be illegally occupied under international law. About 30,000 Israelis have settled there, living alongside Syrians who remained after the area came under Israeli control. Several Arab countries have called Israel's seizure of the buffer zone a land grab. Syria's de facto leaders have accused Israel of using false pretexts to justify attacks on their country. They say they're focused on rebuilding and continuing the moderate tone of the rebels who ousted the President Bashar al-Assad a week ago. Western powers say they're in contact with the designated terrorist organisation Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS, who led the offensive.
We do have diplomatic contact, as you would expect. We want to see a representative government, an inclusive government. We want to see chemical weapons stockpiles secured and not used. And we want to ensure that there is not continuing violence. And so for all of those reasons, using all the channels that we have available, and those are diplomatic and, of course, intelligence-led channels, we seek to deal with HTS where we have to.
Christians in Syria gathered at churches for the first Sunday services since Bashar al-Assad was overthrown. Many are praying for a better life now the dictatorship has been ousted after more than 50 years of the Assad family's brutal rule. Now, HTS has promised to respect minorities, and churchgoers are hopeful the rebel alliance will honour that pledge.
Today, our prayers are for a new page in Syria's future. We hope there will be a new future, a future of freedom where our rights are guaranteed and we have a noble life.
So far, it's all positive, but I fear that customs that are not ours are going to be forced on us.
The interim government is set to rule until March, and there are calls for UN-supervised elections based on a new constitution. While it'll take many years to recover from more than a decade of civil war, many Syrians are now looking to the future. Schools and universities are reopening, while people are returning to cafes and restaurants, enjoying their newfound freedom.
I'm happy to see people actually happy again. The last period in Syria, you can see sadness all over the people because of the hard circumstances. There was no electricity, no water, the bare minimum. We didn't have it, so I'm happy to see all of that coming back again.
It's mind-blowing because in under 2 weeks, we actually have this freedom and everything has changed, which is amazing. You feel like Syria is happy again.